Hey everyone, today we're working on a Codewars challenge, a level 7 called Squares Sequence. And in this challenge, they want you to complete the function that returns an array of length n, starting with the given number x, and the squares of the previous number. If n is negative or 0, return an empty array or list. So in this first example right here, x is our starting number 2, so that will be the first element in the resulting array, and then this array needs to be this length, which is n, 5, so there's going to be 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each subsequent element needs to be the square of the previous element. So we start from 2, 2 squared gives us 4, 4 squared gives us 16, and so on and so forth. So we're following this pattern to build the function. Okay, so let's start with, I think they gave us an edge case here. If n is negative or 0, return an empty array or list. So we'll say if n is less than or equal to 0, we want to simply return an empty array. So that takes care of sort of the error handling there. Okay, so now let's start building our main function. So I think what I want to do is create my result array here, and we know that the first element in the array is going to start with x, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that in. Now I need to make this array be this length, which is n. So I'm going to set up a for loop so I can pass values into the array. Ordinarily what we would do is start this, I'll show you this way first. We would start at 0, then I less than n, and I plus plus. But I don't want to do this because the first element is already in here, so this will make my length too long. I essentially need to remove 1. So I could do I less than n minus 1, but for me, the way that seems to make more sense in my brain is to just start I from 1, because we already have the 0 index element in the array. Okay, so we've got our for loop set up. Now let's think about what we need to pass in. What we're going to push into the array at each new element is going to be the square of the previous element. So if my first element is in there already, I need to essentially grab that element, square it, and then push that into the array to complete the new element. So getting the last element in the array is always going to be the array at the index of array.length minus 1. So that gives me the element. I want to square that. So I'll do star star 2. I'm going to wrap all of this in parentheses so we can push this into the array as the new element. And before we try to run anything, we just console log our array so we can see if this is working. Okay, first example here was 2 and 5. It looks like we are getting the expected result. So let's go ahead and return this. Yeah, looks good. Try to submit. Looks like we're passing everything there. So hopefully this video was helpful. That's how we solved this level 7 squares sequence challenge on Codewars.